Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
This podcast is not safe for work. I repeat, this podcast is not safe for the work. For the love of God, this podcast is not safe for work.
Wee woo!
Nope. That's not gonna work. Yeah, that's right. Fan Diction. Hello and welcome back to Fan Diction. I'm Jazz, the hat fucker.
And I'm Tyler, the Pip-Boy technician.
Yeah, and so here's a show where we read some fan fictions and make the goofy ha-has, and maybe people listen and enjoy our goofy ha-has.
And cry a lot.
Usually the fan fictions are pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
What have we looked at in the past?
Let's see. Pile of Dick.
Yeah, with the Animorphs, Cassie, Rachel, Dick,
Mm-hmm.
horse stuff.
Yep. And then there was Frozen Vaginal Stalactites.
Yeah, gotta love those vag-cycles.
And Smegma the Pokemon.
Smegma the Pokemon.
Um,
What about Harry and... No, not Harry.
Yeah, it was Hedwig and the Owl.
Hedwig is the owl.
Oh, and, well,
And Hagrid.
Yes, that one was disturbing on multiple levels.
You gotta hit those hard H's.
Yep.
As the British would say.
And then the one that just made us the angriest so far, the Neckbeards.
The Neckbeardians.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've read some bad stuff, and
Well, it's the start of the new year, so hopefully things get better.
Happy New Year.
Maybe.
Happy New Year a couple weeks ago.
It's only been, yeah, a
It
couple
will
weeks
be.
ago.
Yeah. And, so we don't know what we're going to read, but we're going to roll a die and then figure out what we're going to read. That's how we usually do it.
I think you should get the first roll of the
This is
year,
a
Jazz.
giant D20. I'm sure I posted the picture of this giant D20 somewhere.
I think it's part of your intro.
It is part of the intro of every episode.
Yes.
All right.
Of Fan Dicken, which is our gaming show part.
Which is fun.
And also sometimes other things.
And
Like throwing donuts on the floor. All right, so I'm going to roll this D20, and then our resident expert is going to pick a thing for us to talk about based on that number.
All right.
That is the premise of our show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to quit vamping now. All right, rolling.
7.
Seventh heaven. I'm going to Steve's now. Excuse me, I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
Oh, no.
It's not horrible.
No.
It's not horrible, but we may get a good laugh out of it.
Uh-huh.
Sad Cat Diary.
Sad Cat Diarrhea.
The final battle.
What?
Sad Cat Diary, the final battle. I would tell you what this is about, but I don't know because I don't know what Sad Cat is, so I'm going to have to do some research, I guess.
Is it the same Sad Cat Diaries as the YouTube video?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy, we'll see you in a minute, fine party people and sex mufflers.
Insert penis joke here.
We're already recording.
Sweet.
Dear Diary, we are going to have to read a fan fiction based on something by Z. Frank about sad cats.
And grooming and being left and singing the song of their people.
And I'm getting the volume up a bit so you can hear us. And fantastic. Alright, so this is The Final Battle, Sad Cat Diary fandom. I'm sure there's more. Characters: I have been stalking an insect on the wall kitten. My food dish is now only half full cat. The authorities have closed the door to the bedroom cat. And to destroy the terrible plant cat.
At least it's in English.
And apparently it's Christmassy, because it's Yuletide 2013. Woot! There is 1,053 words.
There's actually nothing about Christmas in this whatsoever.
Good.
Fantastic.
It's just like our last Christmas special.
This is by flipflop_diva on archiveofourown.org. What is the summary?
Four innocent cats trapped in circumstances unbearable to imagine. Death seems the only way out, but they have one last battle left to wage. Inspired by YouTube's Sad Cat Diaries.
There's some notes. It's for Catherine, inspired by Frank One's YouTube Sad Cat Diaries. I like his marsupial video a lot. This was really fun to write. I'm so glad I got this assignment. I hope you enjoy reading it as much as I enjoyed writing it. Happy holidays. All right, go ahead, Tyler.
What? Dear Diary, I feel this may be my last entry I ever make. I am close to death now. I feel it closing in, closer, coming so much closer. The food in the bowl has been dwindling at a steady rate, as though some outside force is chipping away at it, removing the kennel by kennel.
Kernel by kernel.
Sure. My stomach growls. My legs grow weak. I can barely lift my head from my position on the couch. My eyes don't seem to want to open, except to peer across the room as the food in the bowl continues to lower.
Lower, lower, lower. There is nothing I can do. The authorities in this place are beyond cruel.
Are you trying to be Bane?
Yes, of course I'm Bane. They open the metal box, take out slices of pizza, take out bowls of pasta. They taunt me as they eat it all, never offering me any, instead laughing as I wither away. They are so cruel. How did I end up here? I was just a simple cat, mewling at doorsteps, hoping someone would take me in. The authorities did just that. They took me in, and once upon a time I thought they were my salvation. Now I know otherwise. Diary, I am dying. The food bowl grows emptier. I grow weaker. This is called beating a dead horse, people. This takes a joke and turns it into beating a dead horse. The end is coming. Closer. Closer to the mic. ...
Okay. Dear Diary, I feel this may be my last entry I ever make. Wait, what? Didn't we just read this?
Nope,
No,
it's different now.
How is this different?
Keep going.
I am closer to death now. I feel it closing in. Closer, closer. Coming is so much closer. Stop touching me. This place I am living in is huge, but I am all alone.
Except for the other cats.
Left to conquer the evil that stares inside myself. Outside nothing but sand, a barrel desert.
Yes, a barrel desert.
That leaves me no hope, but inside is no better. I stalk the halls, scratch the doors, cry for help over and over and over, but no one ever answers. No one cares. The authorities have locked it in the back room. The door is firmly closed. There is no way to get in. I have exhausted all options. I am out of hope. I will soon perish, alone and forgotten, trapped in this house with the authorities so close, but yet so far. I had no plans for life.
Actually, you had so many plans for life.
Sure. Like what? What would a cat plan?
I don't know. Apparently they hope for companionship and love. But no, it's not meant to be. I'm dying. I feel it. Death has come for us all. Wait, no. Death moves closer as I lie here, staring mournfully at the bedroom door. Closer it comes. Closer, closer, closer. This is very repetitive.
Kind of boring.
Dear Diary, I fear this may be the last entry I ever make. I'm close to death now. I feel like closing in. Closer, closer, coming so much closer.
You're sure this is not just the same entry over and over again?
My life's work has been in vain. The terrible, terrible plant has won. I'm defeated. My hope is gone. There's nothing left to live for. See, Frank is funny. You're not. I had thought I'd been making progress. The plant had been wounded, its poisonous leaves cut off from his body, his evil skull sat its far and wider in the house, was not to be able to reform. I battled against for days, waging war, with no thought to loss of life or limb for myself, balancing on the edge of its crater, barely hanging on as it rocked on its spot. I defied the authorities who tried to shoo me away from the danger, who tried to save my life, but alas, it is no use. The terrible, terrible plant has regenerated. I do not know if I have the strength left in me to fight the good fight again. I fear I am growing weak, that I may as well perish. What good is a cat who can't win in battle?
I don't know. One that nuzzles you?
I've never heard of a cat battling, honestly.
Well, I mean, there's...
There was a children's novel series about warrior cats.
Warrior cats, what's it called?
I can't remember.
I'm just going to assume it's called Warrior Cats.
Well, I mean, there's Sam
Probably.
the cat, which is about
A
detective cats.
I thought that was Pat the cat.
No, that's Pat the rabbit.
Shit. I feel it coming closer, closer, closer. Okay. This is the last entry I ever make.
Then hallucinating insects.
I fear death is on its way.
Dear
It
good lord,
repeats
this
again.
is just...
Dear Diary, the food bowl has been refilled. I do not know how or by who, but once again, the kernels are spilling out of its side. Death has been averted for now, but I fear it is only time until it happens again, and next time will mark the end, I am sure of it. Dear Diary, the bedroom door is open. Death has been averted for now, but the authorities seem angry. Dear Diary, the plan has been defeated. Death has been averted. The hallucinations have stopped. The insect was an insect. The authorities relieved.
Oh, look, the bright purple insect right now.
Okay, they see a purple insect. Wow, that was stupid. Okay, well, what do you think about that, Tyler? How many shits out of shit would you give that shit?
That's pretty bad, man. I got bored and it was extremely repetitive.
There's not a single misspelling.
No,
Which
which is disappointing.
Well, it's disappointing because it gives us nothing, and also, mean, it would make it more interesting, maybe. Because how do cats have perfect punctuation?
I don't know. I
mean-
sometimes think my cat's an idiot, but I love her.
Where'd my D20 go?
It's on the floor.
Okay, well, get it off the floor, weirdo. Because we're going to just ignore this one and roll again.
Yay!
Yeah, we
Big-
might not even take a break in between. So talk to the people while I roll this.
So there was this one time where Jazz rolled the dice and got a 14.
It says 14 on it.
So he was now, as an expert, going to find us a really bad fan fiction, hopefully with spelling errors and something that we can say more about.
Yeah. I
No.
mean, this was bad, but only because it was repetitive and not interesting.
I think we should still leave a review.
Oh, it looks like we have one.
All right. Name. Fan Diction. Just putting in his real email. So, a bit repetitive. But I like your spurt.
Yeah, a bit repetitive, but I liked your spurt.
Sure thing, Coach Z.
All right. So, yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
There's actually reviews on this.
this is great. Thank you. I'm grinning. I could absolutely hear the voice while reading. The life of a kitty is truly full of suffering. I laughed a bunch. And then a bit repetitive, but I like your spurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Fantastic. What did you find, resident expert?
The Longest Drag by Brick Stonewood. Brick _.
The longest what?
Drag.
Drag. Brick. Wood.
Yep. Should be on AO3.
Okay.
Put that underscore in there, Jazz.
I'm doing this for the thrill of a killing it?
No.
Yeah, put the underscore in. Underscore.
All right, fine. So what is this about? Tell me something.
The fandom
There it
is
is.
Joe Camel, and last week tonight with John Oliver.
Okay.
I've heard about this
The
one.
Longest Drag by Brick Stonewood on Archive of Our Own.
Nope, this work contains adult content and Jazz scrolled too fast before I could read that.
Yeah, okay, it doesn't matter. Let's see, Joe Camel, Jeff the Diseased Lung in a cowboy hat. Joe Camel character, Jeff the Diseased Lung in a cowboy hat. Willie the Cool Penguin crossover. Jeff the Diseased Lung in a cowboy hat has a sexual encounter with popular cigarette mascot Joe Camel. It seems like a dream come true. But well, can he really perform with this chronic obstructive pulmonary disease? Okay,
Really?
let's proceed.
Yeah.
This is 100.
It is 1900 words.
Okay. Oh boy.
It's explicit, and it is the longest drag. We already read the summary, so I guess I'll just start. What kind of voice should I do?
Your voice.
I met him at a party back in '03 when Philip Morris rebranded themselves as Altria. A lot of the higher-ups from R.J. Reynolds had been invited. Everyone was friends with the competition in this business. By that point in his career, people were calling him a has-been, and maybe he was. His last ad had run 6 years prior, and it didn't look like he was going to get another shot at it. Still, they'd invite him here for the cameras. He was cool. He was smooth. He was mysterious. Everyone knew Joe Camel.
Why are you like whispering in my ear?
Because, little lady, you know you like it.
No.
By that time, the higher-ups had all tried to quit smoking, and they didn't hold their parties outside to avoid the detectors anymore. But most of the execs didn't stay at their own parties for too long, and I'm sure they realized how many of the attendees still hadn't kicked the habit. Some of us had a damn hard time of it. My COPD, my COPD, had made it just about impossible to breathe in the main room where they were handing out the champagne and Virginia Slims, and I found myself once again hunched over the handicap toilet in the men's room, wondering if I was going to puke or pass out first. That's when Willie walked in.
Jesus, Jeff. You said walking by the door. You could have told me you were here. You sound like you have been
Trina.
vagina. Do laps around the grand ballroom. You, need me to get you some water? As soon as I could breathe again, I responded between gasps and wheezes. I'm fine, Billy. Good to see you. If you're not too busy, he started, finally moving me over to help me stand up, huh? Moving over to help me stand up. There's someone here I think you'd be very interested to meet. I finished around my cowboy hat?
Fished around for my cowboy hat. Yeah.
Fished around. Finding it a after a few seconds and putting it back on my
Superior.
superior lobe.
Because he's a diseased lung.
Oh, he's an anthropo. Oh, this is gonna get weird.
He's a lung with a hat on, yeah.
This is gonna be really
Oh,
weird.
it's gonna get super weird. Just keep going. We should probably be filming this. Oh well, we'll do the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's huge and cumbersome.
Oh yeah, it is.
But I've always felt too naked if I didn't have it on, too exposed. He's a lung.
A diseased lung.
What?
Here, I'll take over for a second. It's fine. Sure, I told him, finally getting back to my feet and clearing my throat one last time.
Ahem.
Just lead the way. He waddled back toward the party for a while and then took a hard right toward the elevators. I had to ask him to stop twice so I could catch my breath, but he was used to that by now and I don't think he minded much. Finally, just before the elevators, he led me to a small lounge right next to the main hall. It was a room that everyone must have passed coming in, but nobody seemed to take much notice of. There were only a few people sitting there in the small room, all of them sitting down, all of them laughing, and right in the middle, there he was, in his unmistakable glory, the second most famous cigarette mascot in the world.
Joe Camel.
Joey Camel. Willie waddled right up to the group and said, "All right, Joe, there's someone I'd like you to meet. This is my good buddy, Jeff, the diseased lung in a cowboy hat." They all turned to look at me. I've never been so nervous in my entire life. Joe had this aura around him that I couldn't shake, as if the cloud of smoke around him was a gaseous cloud of godlike charisma. I was gazing upon what must have been a perfect being, his chiseled muscles that bulged out from his suit jacket, his relaxed gaze from behind his dark sunglasses in an already dimly lit room, and the way he held his actual Camel cigarette loosely in his mouth. Nobody in tobacco smoked Camels. They were cheap and dirty. If we smoke something expensive, something smooth, but not Joe.
Like Fatima?
I don't know what a Fatima is.
It's a cigarette.
The menthol?
I guess. They were the sponsor for Dragnet.
Oh, perfect. I don't think they exist.
Oh.
But not Joe. He wouldn't be seen smoking anything but the real thing that had made his career, and he looked damn good doing it.
I'm still feeling really awkward and confused.
Well, continue on, buddy.
Maybe I should have said something, but it was all too sudden. I was awestruck. I couldn't follow up Wally's introduction. I could hardly remember I'd been given an introduction, but Joe played it cool.
Of course he played it cool.
As he took a long drag and said, "Hey, Jeff." He didn't lift his hands. He gave me a slight smirk. It was probably the sexiest thing I'd ever laid eyes on.
I've always wanted to hear you say that phrase. Oh, but things are about to go disastrous. That's when I had another coughing fit. I doubled over, grasping my lateral segment and coughing over and over till mucus started spraying out of my mouth.
This is just really, this is hurting
Hot?
my brain.
Yeah, it's super hot.
No.
Mucus going everywhere.
I still can't picture a lung with a cowboy hat. How is it moving?
It has little legs.
Why?
You know, it just waddles around with its little lung legs, with its little lung with its cowboy hat, and like it doesn't have a mouth. It just has like the lung kind of flops open and closed, like mop 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 mop.
So like the liver and onions from. I can't even think of the cartoon now.
That's a very good reference, considering you don't know where it came
Kids
from.
Next Door.
Okay.
Early episode.
Yes.
There was the lady who was cooking all the
Yes.
food, and liver and onions were the bad guys.
Yes. His very topical reference is Kids Next Door from 2000, liver and onions that the lady made.
Well, this is from 2003.
I guess so.
Here you go. Here's a picture of the lung.
What the hell?
There we go. See, now you know. For everyone who doesn't know, it's like a purple lung. It has a yellow cowboy hat and yellow hands and red cowboy boots.
It's
actually much more human-like than I expected.
It's really disgusting.
And really sad. I think it was an anti-smoking thing, most likely.
I guess so.
Anyway, he's like spewing mucus. He couldn't believe his timing. I'm sure my face must have turned a few shades redder from the coughing and the embarrassment. And he has a pretty red face already. Lung face.
Spots.
And I started to wonder if I was going to be able to stop without popping a blood vessel. I hadn't popped one yet.
Vessel?
Yes.
Is that spelled wrong?
No, I just spelled it wrong.
Okay.
I said it wrong. Because I have to. I hadn't popped that one yet, but it always felt like I was getting a little closer every time. When I opened my eyes, I could see a small pool of mucus in front of me, along with a still burning cigarette on my carpet. Couldn't remember if I even had a cigarette with me, or if someone else had dropped it out of sheer surprise. Whew.
Everyone watching had gone silent, and now that it was over, the only noise left in the chatter was the chatter from the next room over. They were still all staring at me. Most of them had their mouths open. I looked over at Willie, who gazed back at me, and with a mild concern, pity.
Well, don't throw up yet.
Well, I'm sure.
Get ready for later.
We don't even have a trash can.
It's true.
Cosby sweaters for everybody.
Okay. Read the damn fan fiction.
I don't wanna.
All
Just
right.
then, Joe stood up, towering over everyone, immediately dominating the room once again. Without a word, he came over towards me and stomped out the cigarette on the ground.
Stomp.
Then he put his hand on my head. Quit touching me!
And told me, "Come on, kid, let's get you out of here. We can talk someplace safer." He led me out of the room with his hand on my apical posterior segment, and he walked back out and into the elevators. I liked the biological and
Yeah,
anatomical good stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
I had no choice, of course, but to do what he wanted. He was twice my size and much more fit, but beyond that, I was still mesmerized. I don't like the rapey tone this is getting.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I was still mesmerized he would want to talk to me. Why would he? He was such a cool camel, and I'm just a lung in a cowboy hat. He could talk to anyone he wanted. He could probably do anything he wanted to anyone he wanted. Yet there he was, leading me into an elevator and pressing the button leading to the 8th floor. Wait a minute, I thought the 8th floor is an accounting offices. He doesn't even work here. What could he possibly plan to do in the accounting offices? He's not stealing from the company, is he?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my god, this is going to be a good subplot about embezzlement.
I wish.
And there's going to be like cops involved. It's going to turn into a cop drama.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I would love that.
Less
That's
sex,
not gonna
more
happen.
cop drama, please.
Joe, I said as the elevator started down, that's going to take just to accounting. Fine by me, he said, winking, as long as it's empty. God. He'd actually just winked at me, and it was cool when he did it. Not creepy like it usually is when someone does that. It might have been creepy if he weren't so confident in himself, but this was definitely the good kind of winking.
I need an adult.
It was reassuring. He wasn't taking me to the accounting floor so he could get crucial information relating to Altria's funding distribution. He was taking me to the accounting floor so we could have hot, steamy, anthropomorphic camel
on anthropomorphic diseased lung sex.
I couldn't have been happier.
I could have.
So let's read that sentence again. He was taking me to the accounting floor so we could have hot, steamy, anthropomorphic camel on anthropomorphic diseased lung sex. Go ahead, Tyler.
No. When the elevator arrived, we got out without turning on the lights, tripping over many things in file cabinets,
Hurting our shins.
and waited for a while for our eyes to adjust to the light, because they have... never mind.
Okay, good.
My brain's dying.
It's fine.
Like, my head actually hurts.
All right.
Mine did after a while, but Joe was still wearing his sunglasses, so I'm not sure if he was able to see anything in that empty hallway. Maybe he didn't want to.
I wish I had really dark sunglasses.
I certainly couldn't blame him if that were the case. After about a minute, he led back on the wall to the water cooler and led out aside. I had heard him unfastening his belt, letting his pants drop to the floor. Get to it, he said simply.
Get to it. All
Nope.
right.
Nope.
It's okay.
Nope.
It's okay.
All right.
Look 2 paragraphs down.
Please don't. Okay, so I'll get this. I'm going to just steady myself. It's going to get weird.
It hasn't already?
Well, I mean, it's the precursor to weirdness. I fumbled my way toward him in the dark and tripped over myself trying to reach him.
Fumble.
I landed exactly where he wanted me, on my knees in front of him, staring at his triangular camel shaft. Why am I imagining a Dorito? I'm imagining a giant Dorito camel shaft. I, never really... ... done this before. I warned him, looking up toward his face, which I could only make out in the dark because the cigarette's still hanging from his lips. Don't worry about it, he assured me. Just pretend it's a cigarette. Or better yet, pretend I'm a lawmaker and you're a tobacco lobbyist. Just do what comes naturally. Oh, tobacco lobbyists love to suck dick. Don't you know how tobacco lobbyists love to suck dick?
No.
I took a deep breath and nervously reached out to grab his massive brown testicles. They were the same size and shape as kiwis, but significantly hairier. I fondled him around in my hands a bit before extending my tongue outward and gently licking his nutsack over and over and over and over and over again. The texture of camel fur against my tongue wasn't quite pleasant, but I had previously developed black hairy tongue disease at one point before taking antibiotics, and it wasn't any worse than that. Go ahead, Tyler.
No.
Just one paragraph.
Finally, his member started to peek out of his shaft, and I greeted it by gently licking and sucking until it reached full length. It was longer than deep red and curvy.
It was long, thin, deep red and curvy.
Sure, eat a dick.
Well, that's not my job. Apparently it's the diseased lung of the cowboy hat's job.
I had never seen a camel penis before, and I was a little confused at the way it came out and downward angle. That's a weird. Before turning almost 180 degrees upward, so it's like...
Okay, so it's a hook. They call him Captain Hook. I knew a guy at Hunt... Never mind, anyway. There was a guy we called Captain Hook.
Okay. It looked awkward, silly, and strangely mesmerizing.
I get that.
No, I don't.
Anything that's weird is kind of mesmerizing, and if there's a curvy dick, it's kind of mesmerizing.
Sure. And reduced capacity because my emphysema.
You almost said emphysema right, which is weird. Of all the words to get right, emphysema is a pretty hard one.
But I was determined to take the whole thing. I placed my tongue on the base and worked my way upwards to the tip before wrapping my lips around and pushing it back and forth into my mouth as if I could fit it. I began pumping back and forth, my hands even stroking and crawling his enormous balls. He started breathing heavily and suddenly brought his hands down, placing one on either side of me, taking charge of me. For one glorious moment, I was completely his.
Did you ever think any of this, you would be saying any of this stuff into a microphone on the internet?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, yeah, actually I'm not surprised either.
After the first episode.
And then, just as soon as it had come, the euphoria of pleasing Joe Camel began to drain away from me. I realized very soon I would need to come up for air. I tried to tap him on the arm to let me go, but he kept pressing me down against his cock, forcing it further down. I released my lips to try to talk around it, but he was too caught up in the moment to listen. I pushed away from him with all of my might, but I couldn't overpower him. He was too strong. I started coughing and gasping with his throbbing, rock-hard camel dick still in my mouth, the spray of my saliva mixing with the beads of pre-cum as he finally allowed me to wrench my face away from his crotch.
Oh,
If you could take over, Tyler, that'd be really nice.
sure.
Jazz, I kind of chose this one for you.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, you're the one who kept going on about non-consensual blowjobs, so,
I thought that was me.
no.
That's
it was
true.
him that started it.
That's
Then
true.
you continued it.
Yeah.
Just read it, Tyler.
I lay on the floor for 2 minutes, still coughing, gagging, spurting, and trying to recover.
Sputtering,
Spurting.
not spurting.
Budding.
Oozing, moistly.
He waited patiently for him to regain my breath. Finally, when I had finished, he told me, "Yeah, I don't think this is really working. You head on back. I'll just finish up my hair." Alright, I responded reluctantly. "You sure you don't want me to keep trying?" "Nah, this was a bad idea to begin with," he said, already starting to masturbate as he spoke. "Besides, we camels are known for our endurance. It's probably going to take a while."
I appreciate him and his masturbation while talking to people. Alright, well, I'm sorry I couldn't do more, I told him as I headed back to the elevator. Don't worry about it, he told me, just as the doors began to close. It was the last thing he ever said to me.
And that's the end.
Kudos. Okay, so what do you... Alright, give it a rating. Give your thoughts on this camel lung love.
I'd give that a half-smoked cigarette out of shit.
Okay, so actually it was decently written.
Yeah.
Just disturbing material.
Some pretty disturbing material. It was a camel in the lung. Where'd you find a pill?
I don't worry about it.
All right. Okay, it's fine. You're doing drug. It's fine. All right. Yeah. So the biological stuff was interesting.
Yeah.
The fact that they took his shortness of breath and low lung capacity.
Didn't make it any better.
I just realized there's a lung doing a blowjob. That's like
To-
cutting out the middleman.
Yeah, to a camel.
Yeah.
Though I am kind of like the ending was very anticlimactic.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's not.
He didn't even finish.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, actually, I was expecting. I mean, it was pre-com, but not com. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess this one. I guess. It didn't have the tag like last time. The gobs and gobs of semen.
Yeah.
So
Because really, there's no such thing as a little bit of semen in these weird
no, there's not.
male sex things.
All right.
It's either no semen or a lot of semen.
Mm-hmm.
I would give it a quarter of a gob of semen out of 10 gobs of semen.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah, I mean, not much semen.
Mm-mm.
Not nearly enough semen.
No.
But there was enough hot, steamy, anthropomorphic camel on anthropomorphic diseased lung sacs.
No, there wasn't. It was just like a half-assed blowjob.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, neither of them were really into it.
Yeah.
I don't know why he decided, oh, I'm going to make it up to you by making you suck my dick. I guess it was a hate fuck.
I guess.
Because, like, he's in the cigarette industry and the other guy's anti-cigarettes, and it's like a thank you for smoking situation.
I guess.
Yeah.
Why are we looking too deep into a sex-filled fan fiction with a lug and a camel?
Look, we just have to have a little bit of discussion. That's all I ask, is that we think about it and give it the positives and the negatives as can be, you know?
Okay.
All right. Well, that was lung camel.
The
Oh.
last drag.
That was the longest drag, I think. No, not really that long of a drag,
No.
because he doesn't have much lung capacity. All right, I'm going to roll this dice again,
All right.
and then we're going to take a break.
Big bucks, no whammy.
No whammies.
20.
20. A critical 20.
This can only mean things.
Just ignore the burning hellscape outside.
So this one is Tyler's fault completely.
Okay,
Yay.
it's Tyler's fault.
Wait, is this... I know what it
Street
is.
Sharks the movie.
Street Sharks the movie. We're going to look up Street Sharks.
Oh, boy!
And we're going to find out things about Street Sharks. I'm going to get a drink. A
Good idea.
good drink.
Mm-hmm.
See you in a second.
Peanut corn.
Oh, my butt. Oh, my butt hurts. Oh, sorry. I didn't know we were recording.
No.
Yeah, so we're going to read about the Street Sharks. What are the Street Sharks? They were an American-Canadian animated television series about crime-fighting half-man, half-sharks from 1994 to 1997 by Deeg Entertainment.
In 96, they teamed up with Dino Avengers, and their show became Dino Avengers featuring Street Sharks. It was created to promote an existing Mattel toy line.
Cool.
So,
Yes, and looked like just toy fodder.
yeah.
My favorite character was Manta Man, but I did enjoy Moby Lick. Oh, I bet Moby Lick's going to factor into this one.
Maybe. And Rocks. President Dave Homer.
Dr. Michael Bolton.
Yeah.
Big Slamu.
Jab.
Streaks on the China.
I remember Streaks.
Good old Streaks. Okay, so this is Street Sharks the movie on fanfiction.net by Misty Mountains 101. Clearly a fan of Led Zeppelin. Alright, as the glass tank collapsed around me, I fell into my... This is the summary, by the way, not the actual thing.
No.
I've got you, little sister, you're safe now. I didn't know then, but I was going to safe and happy with my family that my mother never even mentioned to me the Street Sharks, who were the Bolton brothers following my adventures as I traversed through this strange new world.
Huh?
It is a 3-chapter, 7,000-word epic. Published very recently, actually.
Like December 26th to 15.
Yeah, it's like a little over a week ago,
Nice.
or a couple weeks ago.
Somebody was bored.
Alright, so begin Street Sharks the movie, Tyler.
Chapter 1. Breaking out of Area 51 with their 3-year-old sister. Okay. I think they heard you... Lena?
Lena.
Lowercase I. Think they are pissed, said Binns, who was smirking while being chained up against the wall, making Lena look out of the command center window at the 4 containers that were shaking and rocking back and forth on the floor. of the containment center in Area 51. Then the 4 containers broke out of their containers, roaring and angrily with the leader yelling, "Skylark, hang on, we're coming to rescue."
You.
Period.
You would expect there to be an exclamation point there.
But as we can tell, that sentence didn't have one.
All right, I'll take over. They were 4 mutants, half/human, half/sharks, also known as the street sharks, which they are famous for in stopping paradigm guards, came running in and cooked their guns, with Lena yelling over the intercom, "Don't let them reach my daughter under any circumstances, understand? Shoot them now!"
Period.
The guards fired, but they had shark dived out of reach, making the guards to look around for them, and the sharks jumped out of the floor, killing the guards in an instant. The leader looked up at the command center and saw Benz chained up, for his gaze was for Lena. He roared, "Where is she, Lena? Where is our little 3-year-old sister that you denied seeing the outside world? How can you do something like this, Lena?"
Question mark, period.
Lena sneered at him and said, "You will not find her in Area 51, and I doubt you will like what you see. If you did find her, consider it a test. You are hungry, and seeing her well, let's see if you can fight your hunger instincts as sharks. Aha, fools. Later."
Period. Now, all of the dialogue that is in this, except for the very first line, is bold with, at least it's in quotation marks, but only punctuation at the end.
Yes, and the punctuation, of course, is outside of the quotation marks.
Except for in the question mark one.
Yes.
So, yes. And with that, Lena disappeared, but Ben's voice sounded, "Guys, get me unchained and I will see if I can find her in the computer. Hurry."
Wait, looking inside of a computer? Is it in the computer? Are the documents in the computer?
We're going to have to get hackers on this.
All right.
Period. The boys vanished, and a few minutes later, Benz was unchained and was busy typing the computer. And a few minutes later, found that he was what he was looking for. He called them over and brought up the surveillance cameras to the most horrifying sight. In the water glass tank lay their 3-year-old little sister, but she was thin with bones showing through her skin. But she had jeans.
Gene slammed.
Into megaloid hybrid.
Megalodon hybrid.
Sure. Vince found the floor she was on and showed the guys who vanished off the floor where their little sister was kept in prison without ever seeing the light of the outside world. That's one sentence.
Yep, no periods. This is okay. So,
this is hurting.
This is not written well.
No.
Yeah, try. Okay, at least there's not any bold for a while.
Good.
They were walking the corridor when they saw from the shadows guards guarding a room with guns at the ready, so they shark dived underneath towards them into the room, and when they surfaced, they found their little sister.
Lena.
And saw exactly what Lena meant, but they overrode their hunger instincts in space, STINKS,
and punched the glass. And then the little sister fell into Ripper's arms. He spoke softly to her.
"It's gonna be all right now, Skylark. You're safe now. Come on, let's get you out of here into the outside world."
Period.
That is when their little sister's eyes opened. They saw Life's blue eyes looking up at them, but it was not fear they saw in her eyes. It was trust and happiness that they saw with a tear falling down one side of her face, which Ripster noticed and wiped away, saying, "It's okay, don't cry, little sister. Are you okay, Skylark?"
Question mark, period. So far, only punctuation is kind of correct with the question marks, because the question mark is inside, then the period is as well. But
yes.
When there's not a question mark, the period is outside of the quotation marks.
Except sometimes the question mark will be inside the quotation marks and the period will be outside the quotation marks.
This is bad.
I mean, it's not the greatest punctuation I've seen, but if they're 14, who can blame them, you know?
Yeah. That makes our school system sound really sad.
It is really sad. I went to private school.
Seeing the confused look on her face meant she had no idea what he was talking about, made him ask, "You have no idea what I'm talking about?"
Great, perfect.
And that you can't speak at all, can you? Just nod or shake your head okay to my question so you can talk, question mark, period.
I like that it said in the narrative what he was thinking, and then he said what he is thinking. That really hammers home the point, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
She shook her head, wincing a bit about the effort of doing so, make a jab, say, "Man, that is just sick, totally being stuck in that tank for 3 years, not being able to speak or even seeing the outside world, huh? What was that I saw on the computer about her health?" Nothing.
What?
I mean, there's not even the periods outside the quotation, but there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Ripster went and had a look at the computer and saw what was wrong with her. To him, looking totally angry, he said, Guys, let's get out of here and get Skylark to the hospital ASAP, or she will die here from the viruses that are affecting her right now. Hurry."
Bold. But before they could shark dive her out there, the door to her prison opened and a voice said, "I don't think so, boys, so hand over Skylark Bolton the experiment right now, or my men will shoot."
They stared at the figure approaching them until they saw his Paradigm with guards with guns cocked and ready to shoot, but Hipster yelled at Paradigm, "How dare you call our little sister an experiment? She is a human being. Sure, she is a gene-slammed being, but she is still human, Paradigm."
Suddenly the lights went out, giving the guys perfect time to shark dive out.
Could you stop 1 second?
Yeah.
Do these guys swim outside of water? Is that how this works, or is all of this happening underwater?
No. So the street sharks just dive through the earth, kind of like the sandworms from Doom.
Okay.
Dune.
Okay, so they can dive through dirt and concrete and metal and stuff?
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Sand Sharks?
I have.
Think that.
Okay.
But instead of being sharks, they're like ripped as Macho Man Randy Savage with shark heads.
Okay. Yeah, I was confused about this the whole time.
Shark dive out there, which they did, and safely got out of the base along with Benz, who they had picked up on the way. As they surfaced into the daylight, Scarlet closed her eyes at the sun as it was beaming and blinding her with Benz, and the guys noticed as she had never been seen in the sun before, so Benz put a football cap on her head, which worked and like a charm, casting shadows. I don't know.
What's a football cap?
Well,
Like a baseball cap, but shorter?
No, I mean, they kind of call there was the leather skull caps that they wore before they had real football helmets. Those are football caps, but I don't think that would cast a shadow because there's no brim.
And also, why would they have one in the 90s?
I don't know.
Isn't this taking place in the 90s?
Yeah.
Or is this a prequel?
I don't think the Street Sharks would have been around in the 40s.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is 40 Street Sharks, and it's like Grease.
Yeah.
It's like the Sharks and the Jets.
That was the 50s.
Okay, well, it was around the same time period.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's right, I'm going to snap and get closer to you. Because that's how you fought in the 50s.
I'll just pull them out and stab you.
Ah, not the stabby stabs.
Okay. Football cap, which looked like a charm, casting a shadow over her face, which she liked just fine, but before they had gotten to the Jeep.
TM.
Yeah, that's true. Which was in the car park, alarm siren sounded, which made them get into the Jeep and
TM.
jump off.
I just want to yell TM every time someone says Jeep. Lowercase Jeep, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Soon they arrived in Fission City. Their hometown Benz knew which hospital to go to, so he drove the Jeep TM there. So he parked it to the parking area and took Skylar and gave... Oh, not Skylar from... I was thinking Breaking Bad. And gave them earphones so they could... Everything that was going... Sorry. Earphones so they could...
Yeah.
Everything that was going on.
Yep.
I was hoping the word "here" would be in there.
Nope.
So Benz put one on and bolted inside the hospital? Is that what they meant?
Pelted. Yeah, that's pelted.
Pelted inside the hospital. They're just throwing things at the hospital with Skylark yelling, "Dad, where are you? I need your help here, Dad."
Period outside the quotations again. A few seconds later, Dr. Mark came running out, and when he saw the state Skylark was in, he yelled the hospital down.
Whoa, that's really loud if you can yell the entire hospital down.
And as Skylark was being whisked away in a hurry, Dr. Mark said, "What the fucking hell was this girl been through? I hope to God," not capitalized, Benz, capitalized, "that you didn't have anything to do with this poor little girl's condition?" Question mark, period, quotation.
Is Dr. Mark one of the sharks?
I can't remember.
Let me just double check on our our knowledge page.
Let's see.
Dr. Mark's.
Dr. Mark's.
Antagonists?
No.
And the Dr.
Mark's returning character. Nope. No.
He's not even...
The police detective. Nope.
Wouldn't he be an ally?
I guess.
but
I saw half an episode of this once when I was sick.
Here's the Dino Avengers.
No one cares about
All right, Dr. Mark isn't a...
No.
Sir Thomas Bolton?
Liam Mark?
Dr. Bolton. No, Dr. Mark in the characters for Street Sharks. It might be an original character.
Okay, I guess so. Anyway.
Where was I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ripster.
Ripster voice sounded over the earphone, which Dr. Mark could hear. Why could he hear that?
I don't know.
There is no way that Benz has anything to do with her little sister being the way she is in Area 51, and also her mother Lena's fault.
Period.
Dr. Market, hearing the names Lena and Area 51, pointed at the earphone, and Benz handed it over, and he put in... Why would he need to grab the earphone if he could hear over the earphone anyway?
I don't know.
Anyway, he put it in his ear and said, "So then care to explain what the hell Lena did to Skylark as Lena gave birth to Skylark in this fucking hospital? When is this Area 51 you're spouting on about? Who are you?" That's a great way to end a sentence. Also, who are you?
Yeah, so, and Lena is apparently the leader of the antagonists. So,
Good to know at this point in the story.
Yeah, because I couldn't figure out if Skylark or Lena was the name, but when we went back into our resources, I saw it.
Ripster introduced himself and explained Skylark's condition to Dr. Mark's angry face, to be replaced with a sick expression, so he said, "Thank you for telling me all I need to know about Skylark. Don't worry, I can nurse her back to full health. And yes, you guys can come and see her only at night. Understand, if I see any hungry looks on your faces, when you look at her, you will understand if you are hungry. There are forests about 10 miles and loads of prey for all of you to eat while she is resting and recovering from the stage she's in. It will be 10 or 13 years or so, give or take, depending on how fast she recovers. So do you all agree to the conditions I just said?"
No.
Okay, so he's telling them to go eat deer or some shit in case they want to eat their little sister.
And that she'll be in the hospital for 10 to 13 years. Oh, no.
Are they just setting it up for...
Yes.
Because they want to make her legal?
Yes.
So they can have sex?
Yes.
In a fan fiction that I'm sure this person is going to write?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ripster's voice sounded over the earphone. Yes, we will agree to the conditions for our little sister. We will do anything, and I promise we will not have any hungry looks on our faces when we visit her. You have our words as Street Sharks, also the Bolton brothers, so take good care of our little sister. She is also a Bolton. Dr. Mark, thank you very much. Period.
Dr. Mark smiled and gave the earphone back to Benz and said, "You have some great friends in Sky..." I like how he was yelling and now he's just talking very, very softly.
Like Joe Campbell.
You have some great... You have some great friends, and Skylark is pretty lucky to have some amazing and caring big brothers looking out for her. I go open the docking doors at the back for them. All right, see you later, Benz, and you are welcome to stay here at the hospital. There is a guest house right next down door. Here is the key. It also has 5 bedrooms and also a swimming pool. And also the forest at the back door, perfect for walking the trails, also for hunting prey, okay? So with that, capital T, Skylark was safe and will make a full recovery and meet the guys properly in 10 years' time when she's, what, 20?
Mm-hmm. And so...
13.
Yeah, she'll be 13 because she's 3 right now. So she'll be 13. And then it goes into... So rate and tell me what your thoughts are for the episode.
So that's an episode?
Yep. There's 3 chapters of this.
So the 3 episodes make one movie?
I get... Yeah?
Because it's called Street Sharks the Movie?
I guess.
I'm not reading any more chapters.
No!
This was garbage.
Yes!
Well, it wasn't garbage.
But
It had
it was
some good ideas.
It was really hard to read. Should we at least skim through?
All right, we will do a quick skim of chapter 2. Boop. This is from the little sister's point of view.
Still
Reunion with my big brothers 10 years later.
Mm-hmm. Still the
All
same.
right, this is terrible.
Yep. Dupe.
All right, so Street Sharks. They were toys in the 90s.
Yeah, I can remember the commercials more than the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it had 3 seasons, a total of 40 episodes, which still boggles my mind.
We could watch the commercial and react to it right now.
I guess we could.
All right, sweet. Well, we might get a copyright strike if the
Yeah.
audio comes over. All right, doesn't matter. Anyway, I enjoyed how there was no punctuation.
It was kind of fun reading it like that, but it was still really bad.
I tried to lean away from the mic whenever I was yelling.
Mm-hmm. So, of the 3 we've read so far, which one do you think is the worst?
Still the Sad Cat Diaries. Just because it wasn't interesting or fun.
No. Joe Camel was weird, but at least well written.
Yeah, I
This
mean, I enjoy
was-
some camel lung sex. And then this one was no punctuation. It was just bad all around.
Mm-hmm.
Burn it with fire. I guess I'm supposed to give it a rating, but I'm not going to.
Fair enough.
All right, Street Sharks. Go Street.
Sharks.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back. This is a little different because we're also recording this on the video camera.
Hello.
I hope the card's in there. Okay, good. The card is in the camera. All right, so we are going to read a special one picked out by our resident expert because they think we'd like it because they're a sick fuck who should be beaten.
No. I like this person.
You better.
I guess you have to. All right, so this is rape non-consensual. It's Lucaria and Mewtwo. Oh, Lucaria's in the Library with Mewtwo by Yaoi Goddess with 1D.
So goodest.
Gaudis. So it's tagged with Mewtwo, Lucaria, Zoroark, which I think is the Pokemon that.
Shapeships.
Yeah, well, wait, the werewolfy one.
Yeah, but it whenever it's sent out, it looks like what the last Pokemon in your party is.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't think that's Zoroark.
Yeah, it's Zoroark.
Zoroark
Yeah.
and Lucaria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Its ability is whenever you send it into battle, it looks like whatever the last Pokemon in your party is.
It has a pointed snout and ears with red insides, and everybody knows what Mewtwo looks like
Yeah.
because it's Mewtwo. Could you get your elbow off the desk, please? You're shaking the camera. All right. Fantastic. Okay, so our tags are furry, gay, sex, gay male characters, /male homo. I'm just going to say homo. That sounds bad when you shorten it. Anyway, tentacle rape, yaoi, yif, anal sex, oral sex, rough sex, threesome, mmm. That's male. And orgi. It's only 6,000 words long.
That's a long one.
It's fine, and published like 4 months ago. It's got a total of 4 kudos.
Well, guys, remember the Street Sharks one we just read? That was 7,000 words in 3 chapters.
Yeah. All right. Lucaria is in the Library of Mewtwo. The library is more than just a place for reading. Mewtwo, Lucaria. I just realized this is not loud enough. Now you can hear us. Great. Porn Without Plot. Yif and Yaoi. A 4-part Halloween special. Oh, there's other male Pokemon pairings too. It's not just Mewtwo, Lucaria, and Zoroark. Lucario has a big spike in his chest and he shoots energy Kamehamehas. Yeah. Anyway, setting inside an old library. The old abandoned library has a ton of dusty old bookshelves. Zubats hang on the ceiling. It's 12 o'clock midnight on the old grandfather clock, and the light from the full moon shines through the tall stained glass windows. Chapter 1, Lust Between the Bookshelves. Go ahead, Tyler.
No.
Here, let me zoom in a bit on you. Okay. Go ahead, buddy.
Eric the Lucario and Mitch the Mewtwo make out against the bookshelf of the section as they held each other in a tight embrace, their wet tongues wrestling with each other as they already swollen links rub against each other.
Okay, this starts right off the bat.
You did say it was poor without plot.
So good.
Hey, you asked for something horny.
Anyway, their buddy, Zach the Zoroark, is laying against the bookshelf opposite from them as they enjoy the show. I did not... Okay, I might have said porny. I don't know. I said erotically charged.
Well,
He wore that stupid grin on his face as he stroked his throbbing manhood with quick pace. Eric broke up the kiss as he went down on his hands and knees, immediately began sucking on the Mewtwo's hardened member. He bobbed his head up and down repeatedly as his tongue explored every inch of the Mewtwo's dick. Mitch moaned and grunted several times as he placed a hand on the Lucario's head, blushing a bright red on his cheeks as tiny beads of sweat form on his forehead. Go ahead, Tyler.
No.
Oh, come on, it's fun times.
do it.
Fun times.
Do it.
Zach soon joined the party and entered Lucario in one swift thrust. Eric's body shook violently as he moaned through the sucking. Zach bucked his hips and back and forth endlessly as they jacked Lucario off, the oozing tip of his penis jabbing Lucario's sweet spot over and over again.
Sweet spot. So the prostate?
Yes,
Okay, great.
I think.
Wait, is this one also containing prostate milking?
No, not this particular one.
Okay.
I try to think of these as human people and not as Pokemon. At least they're all vaguely humanoid.
At least it's not Not like the Smegma Pokemon?
Let's not think about the Smegma Pokemon. Let's turn off our imagination. Imagination is usually good, but not here. As he fucked the Lucario, Zack kissed the Mewtwo passionately as he forced his tongue into his mouth. There's some subject-verb agreement that's not really working for me here. Mitch kissed the Zoroark back as their tongues wrestled with one another. All three Pokemon went on like the gears of a working machine for many minutes till they finally came. Zack quickly pulled his still hard member out and came all over the Lucario's back as he growled a bit. Mitch came inside the Lucario's mouth as drips from the massive load went out in splashes. Eric came all over the floor as he arched his back. They took half an hour to rest before starting the next round.
Well, you did say that we were missing, gobs of semen, so...
I hate myself so
Yeah,
much right now.
Tyler, why did you want gobs of semen?
I hate myself.
Oh god, I lost where I was.
That's a bad thing.
Fingering holes? Wait. Oh, I'm just confused because they used the sentence from the first paragraph
Graph
again.
Yep.
Alright, go ahead and...
Aww.
Go ahead, Tyler. Really
Zach.
put your voice into it. Here, let me put the mic in the middle where we can actually both hear it.
Zack and Mitch made out with each other again against another bookshelf while Eric rested on the floor in his own cum.
Seems comfortable.
They French kissed. French is capitalized.
Yeah, because the French are people. Duh.
With steamy passion as they squeezed each other's bottoms.
Ooh, bottoms. Ooh, it's so
Zack
randy.
threw Mitch down on the floor. Seismic toss?
Yes.
And got on top as he stick his swollen length into Mewtwo's face.
So Mewtwo is a power bottom, like J. Michael Tatum?
Okay.
Okay.
A sign saying that he should suck on it immediately. Mitch looked up and down Zoroark's shaft as he tasted the dripping slut of the head with his tongue, tasting the pre-cum. Then he carefully took the whole thing in his mouth and sucked it like a super vacuum as he moved his head back and forth repeatedly.
Sounds actually kind of painful.
Yeah.
Plus, I think I have a case of the vapors from this hot action. Ugh. Whew. We're not furries.
No.
All
Zack
right.
moaned louder and louder as he moved his hips in time with Mewtwo's sucking, panting a bit as his tongue hung out.
What would that sound like?
Go fuck yourself.
Yes.
He reached one hand behind himself and took hold of Mewtwo's throbbing manhood and rapidly shaked, and the camera's moving.
I know. That was something I was doing on purpose, and you just ruined the joke.
Didn't.
Okay.
Took a hold of Mewtwo's throbbing manhood and stroked it rapidly, yanking a few times. You shouldn't yank on a penis.
Yank, 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 yank. It must be bigger than mine.
Mitch trembled. Not remember. How did I get remembered out of that?
There is some of the same letters in it.
As he whimpered through all that sucking, the two Pokemon went on like this for quite a while.
You are sex lexic.
Yeah.
Mitch Sorry, this one's pretty bad. Not gonna lie. This is, like, worse than the Hagrid Hedwig. Worse even than the Cassie Rachel Animorphs horse facts. Because at least they were only part animal. Whereas these are all basically animals.
Yeah, but, I mean, that one was still kind of messed up with, like, a penis that coiled and was the size of a Pepsi can.
At least the physics of this one makes sense.
Yeah.
Even if it's disgusting physics.
We're not saying anything against the gay. This is just...
Okay, it's not a gay thing. It's not like a gay bashing thing. These are literally Pokemon fucking each other in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
This is a whole different section.
Yes.
Yeah, and just because we don't particularly like this doesn't mean the furries can't get off to whatever they want to get off to.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that blue fox from the Star Fox series is kind of hot. Sort of. Remember?
No.
Oh. Anyway.
I didn't
From
play
the
my-
adventure ones? Yeah.
I didn't own a Nintendo console.
Oh, okay. This was like GameCube. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand. Anyway, Mitch pushed the Zoroark over. I was just trying to waste time, basically, so I didn't have to read this. Mitch pushed the Zoroark over and quickly got on top of him as he make out with him. I don't know if that has to be make dash out.
I don't know.
I think it
it's
could
not even the right tense.
This is true.
make out with him for at least a few minutes, their tongues dancing together in the moonlight. Well, that's nice, as they embraced one another. Saliva dripping from both his and the Zoroark's mouth, Mitch broke up the kiss and put both of them in a 69 position. He immediately went back to sucking the Zoroark's hardened member as he used one hand to rub and squeeze the Zoroark's ballsack, while he used the other one to finger the Zoroark's entrance. I find that an exit, but that's just me. Using one finger before inserting another and began moving it in a scissor motion. How do you get 9,000 words of this?
You don't have to read all of it.
I know, I'm just saying, how did
it.
someone write 9,000 words of nothing but sex between Pokemon?
We've all known fangirls, Jazz.
Anyway, Zach started sucking on the Mewtwo's swollen length as he began fingering the Mewtwo's entrance with all three fingers. The two Pokemon moan and groan endlessly as they suck each other's dicks, fingering one another's tight holes. Oh, we're going to have another character come in. All right, go ahead, Tyler. Knock yourself out. Steven the Skeptile. I actually have to look up who Skeptile is now.
It's the third evolution of the grass starter from Sapphire. Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh, thank you. It is flying. It's a grass type.
Yeah, it's a grass type. Its tail is pretty much a tree, and it's got a bunch of spore-looking things on the back.
It's got a tree coming out of its ass. I wonder what this is going to mean for us.
Oh, no.
All right.
Still laying on the floor, Eric raised himself up a bit. When he was fully rested, Steve the Sceptile appeared behind him and held the Lucario in a loving embrace, then nuzzling his nose against the sensitive spot on the back of Lucario's neck. Eric moaned softly as he shuddered a bit. Steven began licking and sucking Lucario's neck as he rubbed one hand gently to rub the Lucario's chest while stroking Lucario's throbbing manhood with another. Then he slowly licked up the side of Lucario's face, all over Lucario's ear. He started nibbling on. Eric moaned louder and louder and felt powerless against the Sceptile's sensual touch.
All right. Steven, while getting up on his feet, then grabbed hold underneath the back of the Lucario's thighs, gently lifted him up in the air, spread his legs wide apart, and carefully inserted his already hardened member deep into the Lucario's entrance. Eric gasped as he squirmed a bit, slowly adjusting to the Skeptile's long and massive dick. Steven began moving in and out of the Lucario at a steady pace as he still held the Lucario's legs up in the air. He bucked his hips up and down endlessly as he started kissing the Lucario passionately. Sorry, trying to think of the physics of that. Eric kissed back as he wagged his tail with joy, forcing his tongue into the Skeptile's mouth as his tongue soon began wrestling with the Skeptile's. The two Pokemon carry on for several minutes as they make out like crazy. Oh!
Wait, what? How many Pokemon are going to show up?
Poliwrath.
Butch the Poliwrath appear in front of his two buddies, jacking himself off. I didn't even know any of these Pokemon had dicks.
I mean, there is the whole mating started in the second game, which is really huge in the metagame.
True. Anyway, jacking himself off as he watched Steven fuck Eric. Steven Skeptile, Eric the Lucario. Good and hard. A little while later, grabbing underneath Lucario's thighs.
Wait, what?
Along with this guy, Butch inserted his throbbing manhood real deeply into Lucario's entrance. Eric yelped as tears formed in his eyes, feeling both pain and pleasure of having two dicks inside him. After their friend took some time to adjust, Steven and Butch began moving their swollen lengths in time with each other as they're speeding up their pace in each thrust. They fucked the Lucario faster and faster as their members rub against each other, while they hit the Lucario's sweet spot. At the same time in every single thrust,
She's headbutting me.
moaning and groaning as sweat glistened on their bodies. Eric screamed non-stop in ecstasy. Ah! Ah! Ah!
That's not ecstasy. That's like terror and pain.
Oh, okay, so that's the type of screaming I want to do right now as I read this. He's jacking himself off really rapidly, waggling his tail with intense speed. Zach and Mitch were facing opposite directions, and they all went on for a while and came.
The 5 Pokemon.
Yes, all 5.
There's still more of this.
Eric's.
We're not even halfway there.
I'm just gonna. Man, how are they still going?
They haven't run out of PP. That's wild.
Okay, I'm just going to the next Pokemon and going on.
Claude?
Shiny Genesect.
Suddenly, Mitch got grabbed and pulled away from his two lovers by Hyde the shiny Genesect and Claude the Genesect as they began stroking the Mewtwo, still hard dick, much to his dislike of the two Genesect.
So the Genesect is a 6th generation Pokemon that's bug, steel, that has like a laser beam on its back.
Okay.
And Mewtwo and Genesect fought in one of the newer Pokemon movies.
Okay.
Even though it's not the same Mewtwo from the first movie. It gets really weird because this Mewtwo's female, even though there's only supposed to be one. Yeah.
Well, this is the male Mewtwo
Yeah.
here in this story.
Oh, and there's also...
So Genesect is vaguely...
Who's Claude?
Claude the Genesect.
There's two of them.
There's two. So there's
Yeah,
a
Hyde and Claude, the two Genesects.
The two Genesects.
Yes.
Okay.
One shiny.
Once again, this is also supposed to be a legendary.
Yeah. Oh, and then Zach was grabbed and pulled away by Frost the Beartick as he gave the Zoroark a seductive grin. So what's a Beartick?
Beartick is a polar bear Pokemon that has like a mustache made of frozen like nose drippings.
Sweet. That sounds sexy.
Yeah, it's not very good.
So all
It's
seven
okay.
Pokemon immediately started the next round.
It's okay. You're forgetting Simon the Inferno Ape.
Oh yeah, the third evolution of the fire starter from the 4th generation.
You know a lot about
I
Pokemon.
do.
Let's see. There's all kinds of sweet spot stuff.
Getting bigger, longer.
Asses completely filling up with cum.
Mm-hmm.
Hyde and Claude, the two Genesects, flipped over the Mewtwo on all fours and entered him again.
More double penetration.
Let's see. Apparently the Beartick has a big and long cock. Frost is the
The bear.
Beartick. They say Frost the Beartick sometimes they just say Frost.
Which one's Simon?
Simon the Skeptic?
No. The Sceptile?
Skeptile, yeah. It's not the Skeptic. Simon the Skeptic. Simon was fucking Lucario. So they're just doing each other in every possible way. There's an Infernape somewhere in here.
Yeah, there. This is...
There's more. Seven on them going on for another half an hour. And then they go again, squirting simulated cum inside
Who's-
Mewtwo's.
Anthro Sylveon,
Okay, there's a Sylveon
which is the fairy evolution of Eevee,
evolved.
which is which kind of has like streamers. Oh, that's where the tentacle rape comes from.
Oh, okay, so Carla the Anthro Sylveon walks by
Yep.
toward the next section of bookshelves. I forgot all this was happening in the library.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be after hours because I couldn't imagine any of this.
Well, it is in the beginning. It said it was midnight.
Okay, so it's midnight in a library.
It's still going.
There's just Sylveon stuff. Carla pounced on Zach because he started making out with the Zoroark, forcing his tongue in. They were French kissing each other.
Yeah.
Dicks and sweet spots and eagerness to fuck.
I love that they keep putting sweet spot in quotations.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we know what you mean. Why not just say ass G spot?
Maybe they don't know how to spell it.
Maybe. Yeah, they don't know how to spell ass.
I don't know how to spell it.
Oh, now there's some Lucaria Sylveon nipple pinching.
Ooh.
Oh, Sylveon has extremely tiny nipples. Didn't you know?
Really?
Thanks, Game Freak,
Mm-hmm.
for this joy that we're going through.
All 3 Pokemon began fucking the Sylveon together with a golden rod.
Golden rods. Ooh. Brutal thrusting, let's see, Zach was deep-throating the member, Eric is pinching the tiny nipples.
Mitch is licking the Sylveon's left ear and nibbling on it.
All 4 Pokemon just squirting everywhere, all over more
Tauros.
characters.
We got a Tauros.
So Zach was pulled away from the sleeping Sylveon by Greg the Gengar and Uzumaki the Grumpig. I love the Grump pigs.
The Grumpig is Psychic ground type.
Yeah, it looks vaguely...
God.
It's purple pig thing.
Okay, and Greg the Gengar would be just a little fat guy ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vlad the Noivern and Ryu the Dragonite.
Norvern is a bat dragon with really big ears.
Mm-hmm.
Dragonite.
A dragon, basically.
Yeah.
Then Mitch is dragged away by Kenny the Crocodile. Crocodile.
Crocodile, yeah.
And Toro the Anthrotaurus.
Yeah, Crocodile's 2nd generation water type crocodile, and Tauros is...
He's a bull.
Yeah, he's a bull.
So that's all kinds of gross.
Uh-huh.
That's going to go badly. And then
Yeah.
just talking about everything that they're doing together.
I'm kind of disappointed, like, the crocodile doesn't bite off a dick.
I didn't really read There's just a bunch of stuff about sweet spots, and they just
Super vacuum again.
names over and over
It's
again.
just getting really repetitive and disappointing.
Yeah, squirted
Still
a
lots of cum though.
Grumpig has a swollen length and squirts a huge puddle of cum on the floor.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna have to like censor this,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just gonna be one long beep. Spreading the Zorax leg apart. I wonder if there's any more characters. That's all I care about at this point. Nibbling on shafts.
Vlad.
Oh, canine fangs.
Who's Vlad?
The noise. I think.
Vlad.
Nah.
I don't know. It's hard. There's like 13 characters now.
Mm-hmm.
Something like
Vlad reaches climax on.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Ryu.
Ryu
Ryu.
from Street Fighter.
I think maybe it's in the Infernape.
No,
Oh.
no, that's the Dragonite.
Oh, Ryu the Dragonite, of
okay.
course. Oh, long and wide trails of cum coming out of entrances, which I still think are exits. How do they have this much stamina? They're
They
like
must-
animals or something.
It's all that PP, man. All those PowerPoints.
I don't know how Pokemon can blush, especially dragon Pokemons.
Man.
All right, I think we're probably at the end of all the characters.
No, there's still.
No, okay.
Yeah, there's no more characters, but it's still going.
Yosei the shiny Sylveon.
Oh boy.
So this is a different Sylveon, I guess.
Yes.
With a ball sack.
Mm-hmm. To be continued.
Let's just read the last paragraph for me.
Zack and Greg came in each other's mouths as Uzumaki came inside Zack. Eric came all over himself as Vlad came inside his ass, while Ryu came inside his mouth. Norvin came on Mitch's waist as Mitch came inside him. Kenny and Toro soon came as well. It wasn't long till Kara came in both his and in the Silani Sylveon's waist. After several more thrusts, Yosei came deep inside Sylveon's ass. All 12 Pokemon collapsed on the floor in exhaustion as they tried to catch their breath, completely covered in both sweat and cum. Eric, Mitch, and Zach were so high from their intense orgasms they didn't even realize they were being carried off towards the lobby area by all 6 different Pokemon, leaving the rest of the Pokemon behind as they slept on the floor. To be continued.
Beautiful. That was a beautiful collection of Pokemon pornography. So Tyler, how would you rate that?
I need my gin.
Okay, yeah, I have sake, I think,
That'll do.
and white girl drinks.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Bleach.
Brain bleach. Yeah, so that was pretty intense. We didn't read all of it. We skimmed over most of it.
Because there was 7,000 words of just gay orgasm Pokemon weirdness.
Well, repetitive gay orgasm.
this is
Pokemon
true because in
weirdness.
3 paragraphs it had the same starting.
You know me. I have no problem with gay
Mm-hmm.
orgies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm perfectly fine. Pokemon orgies. You know,
Mm-hmm.
non-consensual rape stuff.
I am disappointed in one thing.
What?
The Ultimate Pokemon Horror, Ditto did not appear.
I know, right?
Oh, that's
Mhm.
right.
Could have done so many things.
It could have.
You know there are fan fictions written about Ditto. One of them being son of a Ditto.
I'm sorry. Okay, well, that was Lucario and 47,000 other Pokemon in the library with
Mhm.
Mewtwo. I guess Lucario and Mewtwo were filled the most.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that was not bad writing, just boring.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I guess it wasn't boring, just repetitive.
Yeah.
Too many characters, and I couldn't really keep track of them all.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't buy this in a bookstore.
No.
No.
Mostly because I probably wouldn't be browsing the gay Pokemon erotica section of my
Mhm.
local bookstore. Okay.
I think the camera is just about dead.
Yeah. It's fine. It stopped recording.
Okay.
So. All right, everybody. That should do it for our podcast. Fan Diction,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Do you have a good one for us, or are we just going to go out?
Yes, actually I do have a good one.
All right, we're just going to talk while you find that. So, how did you enjoy our podcast today, Tyler?
It's going to be one hell of a new year.
Yeah, it's going to be a new year full of new experiences.
I mean, you found out about sand sharks. Or
It's
land
true.
sharks.
It's true. They just bury themselves into the ground. They're amazing.
Street sharks. Yeah, street sharks, yeah.
Sand sharks, yeah.
It's a thing.
Okay.
It's all bad. Okay, so this one is called When a Lioness Fights by Kaylee Silverstorm. It's a Harry Potter fan fiction with Hermione Granger and Severus Snape as the 2 main characters. Basically, Hermione becomes a spy and brings down all of the Death Eaters. with angst and drama and more drama and maybe some sexy parts.
Well, gotta have a little bit of the sexy parts.
No, I mean,
But
what
it-
else is fan fiction for?
Well,
So good. Enjoy the good with the bad.
Yeah.
You take the
But-
good, you take the bad, facts of life, etc.
overall, it's
That's the
very
facts
good.
of
It's
life.
on fanfiction.net
Facts of
and
life.
it is complete.
Oh.
So you can read all of it in maybe not one go. Probably not one go.
Yeah,
How many mini words?
It is 416,000 words plus.
All right, so a good read for you.
It's actually a very good read. I've read through the entire thing as it was being published, and I liked it quite a bit.
Thanks
Because Hermione's awesome.
Thanks for joining me. I feel a little bit sick. Don't mind me.
That's probably lunch.
Yeah, that's probably lunch. Probably not the Pokemon sex. All right.
No, not the Pokemon
Yeah.
sex.
So thanks for joining us, and as always,
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
yeah, just stick to the Pokemon fucking that you're used to.
Good night.
Fandiction was not recorded in front of a live studio audience and should not be listened to by anyone with a sense of decency.